My Palico Classy Jr. is already proving himself more useful than his predecessor by preemptively knocking me out of the way instead of healing me afterwards. Pidgey Hunts. Welcome back to another Monster Hunter Journal, Monster Hunter Rise Journal, where I document my entire playthrough of Monster Hunter Rise as I seek to hunt every monster. If you want to see the whole thing, I'm going to drop a link in the comments if you want to watch the entire playthrough. It's available on Twitch, but also on YouTube. If you're into that, I release a journal about once a week, and I stream every Tuesday at 8 p.m. over on Twitch if you want to follow along. So this week we have started high rank, and I have to say, what a difference it's been from the early days of these Monster Hunter Rise journals where I'm like, this is so easy, hack slash, to the end of village mode, village rank, where I was getting into double digits faints. So naturally, as I enter high rank, I'm going to be a little bit concerned, and concerned I should be. I got 5 faints this week, and we're still only in 4-star. Like, I'm at the beginning of high rank. So there was no new monsters this week, but I took more time to really take in different aspects of the game. And Monster Hunter Rise has been kind of a rush so far that I haven't really sat and let the game soak in the way, like Monster Hunter World, I did some menu streams where I spent 3 hours just looking at menus and taking my time to let it sink in. And with these massive franchises, I feel a player needs to do that. So entering high rank, the first thing that happened is I got a new switch skill. So took that skill to the training room and I played around with the different mechanics for my switch axe. Now, so far I've been liking the combo that I've been using, which is, I think, the invincible gambit. So I've been trying the wyvern thing, wyvern rise or whatever it's called, and it just wasn't working for me. But with this new switch skill, it has the forward overhead slash, which lets you open up with like a really meaty, like charged up axe slash over the head, which is great because that plays to my old playstyle. I say old because I've just started switching to opening up with a sword slash in both World and Rise. So to do it with to go back to axe, I'm just like, oh no, this switch skill came too late. So I'm balancing the two. I'm still opening up with a sword slash, and then when I have an opening with the monster, what I do is I come out with the forward overhead slash, and what I love is this cycles into my backslash. So like I hit forward Y or top button. No. Oh man, this is the switch. I don't remember what maybe it's an X. They switch them around. I'm thinking of an Xbox controller. Anyway, the top button to slash them, and then the side button, A, I think, to back. And you can just go back and forth, and do that as much as you want until the monster moves. So I love that. While I was in training, I also tried something I had heard in the comments where if you use the wyvern rising attack, whatever it's called, after a zero-sum discharge, so you'll zero-sum discharge, you'll fly off of it, and then you can like sling back using that wyvern rise move, which was not as cool as I was hoping for. Like, it just kind of sucks you back in and you put like a bomb on the monster. I'm going to skip that for now. It just doesn't flow the way I like to flow. So I'm sticking with my invincible gambit where I do like 3 damage, try to create an opening for my overhead slash, back into my backswing, or if there's no room to go into a backswing, I'll follow up with 2 sword slashes. And it's a pretty good rhythm so far. Another feature, like this is just me taking the game in, the Argosy, which I've been ignoring this whole time. I finally spoke to the person there and learned how everyone's been saying it's the farm. I get it now. It's exactly that. It's the farm. You negotiate to get what item you want. So we got the honey on the Argosy and we got some flash bugs so we can get our bombs and mega potions. And I'm now sort of invested in the Argosy and I'm actually going to pay attention to it. So that's another mechanic I have given attention to. I played through the rest of, I had a few quests left in village rank. I finished everything except my final village quest list has a blue check mark instead of a red, which I suspect means I have not unlocked a certain village quest. And I'm really curious to know, how do we unlock that quest? Because I cannot have full 100% completion until I get that blue check mark into a red check mark. I also started noticing NPCs off to the side that never give you quests or anything. They're just there. I was like, oh, did the market expand with high rank? And everyone's like, no, they've been there all the time. So we got the rice ball artist kid next to like another stall with a massive fish. Never noticed those things. Never needed to go there. They're completely optional to talk to. But I spoke to the kid and I learned he has a crush on the other Bunny Dango girl. And then I learned the cat's been spying on the two and they've got a crush because I inspired them. I'm like, okay, I'm getting into the lore of this world, which I'm appreciating. It's getting me more invested. So if anyone is rushing through this game, take the time, talk to people, let the game pull you into its world. The other thing that was cool in a high rank is I uncovered my first kind of gimmicky switch axe. I say gimmicky because it looks like it's made of paper. It's an origami switch axe. And I actually got it at a time when I saw another player somewhere on the internet, I don't know what their name is, but they actually crafted 1,000 origami switch axe to make a wish. So they say it's based off of the legend of the paper crane origami. If you do 1,000, you can do a wish. So like a lot of people, they fold 1,000 origami cranes, make a wish. This guy or girl, I don't know who it is, they crafted 1,000 switch axes and made a wish. And I forget what they wished for, but very cool. I'm never going to do that. The origami switch axe, love it. It's beautiful. What I don't like about it is I don't know in battle. I can't identify quickly if I'm in sword mode or axe mode. The two modes look too similar. So when I'm fighting with it, I'm struggling a lot of the times to try, like, am I in axe mode or am I in sword mode, which really affects which button I want to press next. So that kind of threw me off. Not to the point where it caused me to faint, but enough where it caused me to not have as smooth of a combat as I wanted to. So going into my high rank fights, the first one, I don't know, I must have been in typical Hey J cringe. I went into a fight to kill a Lagambi and a Kezu. First thing I see is an Aknosom, and I just started wailing on it like crazy. And after about 20 minutes of like fighting this thing and feigning to it twice, which is weird because Aknosom's supposed to be easy, chat's like, why are you fighting this thing? It's not on your target list. And I was like, oh my god, that's so dumb. So I completely wasted 20 minutes, 2 feints on a bird I didn't even have to hunt. And then we ran and we fought the Kezu and the Lagambi. Lagambi? Yes, Lagambi. Aknosom, I don't know what's up, but he was my rival for this day because this thing never gave me an issue in village rank. Suddenly in high rank, it's an issue. There's even a point where I was zero sum discharging, like, this sounds terrible, but in its mouth, and then I just fainted. Like my entire life went out, and apparently it was when it's doing its like fireball attack. So, you know, it was shooting fireballs, I was shooting my axe, and I guess he overpowered me because he like KO Ken times 20 or something, and then I died. So all the monsters, like I said, none of them were new, but this was different than my experience in World High Rank in the sense that I think I am observing monsters more now in Rise, now that I've kind of gone to the comfortable level of playing this game, where I was actually noticing the new moves. In World, I went through the monsters in low rank maybe too quickly, or maybe I was absorbing too many things. I didn't actually notice what most of the new moves were in high rank compared to low rank. Here, it was a lot more noticeable where I'm like, this monster didn't do that. That monster didn't do that. And I think it just comes down to I hunted them more in low rank to be like, understand their patterns. So like for example, the big bunny, he rolls a massive snowball now, which I don't remember him doing that in village rank. Kezu charges, but also lunges at you, which he never did that before. So luckily it didn't hit me. He almost did once. And like I said, Classy knocked me out of the way before it happened. I also learned I can control Classy and say, come help me by pushing like plus minus. So that was a lifesaver. And I also learned that attack from Kezu is to teach the player, don't stand in front of that thing. You want to be off to the side so that way if it lunges, you can always just slap on the side of that face. So I no longer stand in front of Kezu specifically because of that attack. Tetranodon, he has like a Blastoise water gun attack, which I wasn't expecting that. He also ate me 3 times, which I don't think he did that in low rank. So just really observing new behavior, which I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like this really felt like I was absorbing the game in a new way this week. Arzuros, we fought him, and Trolly Chat is troll, so they told me to bring a bunch of honey with me. And I thought it was so that I'd have enough for my Mega Potion. I'm like, I don't really need honey. They're like, no, keep it in your inventory. It's always good. So I go, I fight Arzuros, and I don't know if this unlocks like a new attack because you have honey in your pocket, but he mauled me a few times, took my honey, and ran off to eat his honey in his honey pot. I was like so offended. So I hit him, but he stole my honey twice. And of course, chat had a good time laughing at my expense as usual. So not sure if you're supposed to not bring honey with you, like if you'll still do that attack even if you have no honey in your pocket. But either way, Arzuros is a hungry bear. You be careful. So made it through pretty much 4-star rank. The next week, I'm entering 5-star. My emergency quest is a Gyrototis, which I was like, why did they bring the fish back? Nobody likes this fish, and yet they brought him back. And for an emergency request of all things. So this is my first level of high rank and slapped around quite a bit. So I imagine I'm only going to get slapped around more and more. But I'm also absorbing the game more, where I'm studying and learning. Another thing I do is when I get knocked out, I used to wire bug into the monster. Now I wire bug away from the monster because they're way more aggressive. They have more combos in high rank. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to mess with this. If they slap me once, they'll slap me again. So let's wire bug away, watch what's happening, and then create an opening. It's a very different style of play from what I was doing in World, I feel. And I have to learn, and I'm learning. I can feel myself learning, so we're getting there. So next week, Gyrototis, and who knows what else is behind that Gyrototis, but it's going to only get harder from this point. But as I'm getting more comfortable with the controls and the playstyle, even though it feels like it's the same game as World, but there is a clear distinction when I start Rise after playing World. I'm always struggling on my first hunt. So I can't tell you what it is that's different between these games, you know, outside the wire bug and all these other things. But there is something that throws me off, and I need like a hunt or two to recalibrate to Rise. So that's where we are. Hopefully you can join me next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/HeyJOfficial. If not, I'll see you in the next journal. And until then, keep it classy.